Dr. Gabor Maté, a renowned physician and trauma expert, has spent years working with patients suffering from chronic illnesses, cancer, ALS, multiple sclerosis, autoimmune diseases, and what he observed was profound. Many of these patients shared deeply rooted emotional repression, a habit of saying yes to everything, while their bodies were silently screaming no. The book's central thesis: the body and the mind are not separate. When we suppress emotions, particularly anger, guilt, or sadness, that stress doesn't disappear. It hides in the nervous system, in the immune system, and ultimately in the body. Let's take an example. Dr. Maté highlights numerous case studies, patients with multiple sclerosis who had spent a lifetime avoiding conflict, cancer patients who were habitually self-sacrificing, always putting others first. These are not coincidences, he argues, they're patterns. He explains how chronic stress deregulates the immune system, and how emotional repression, especially from childhood trauma or neglect, contributes directly to this stress load. We're not just talking about trauma in the traditional sense. Even subtle, emotional invalidation, like being told don't cry or be strong, can teach a child to disconnect from their own feelings, a disconnection that becomes deeply ingrained. One of the most compelling ideas in the book is the disease-prone personality. People pleasers, overachievers, those who suppress anger to keep the peace. On the outside, they may seem kind, calm, cooperative, but inside, the emotional labor of denying their truth may be weakening their physiological defenses. And here's where it gets even more sobering. Maté isn't saying stress causes disease in a linear way, but that it creates the conditions where disease can flourish. It lowers resistance, alters immune responses, and quietly shapes our fate. So what can we do? Dr. Maté's answer is not medication, it's awareness. He calls for radical emotional honesty, learning to feel your feelings, setting boundaries, saying no without guilt, reclaiming your authentic self from beneath layers of social conditioning, and ultimately, listening to your body before it has to shout. This book is not just medical, it's deeply human. It's a mirror, and sometimes it's uncomfortable to look into. But the reward is freedom from the chronic stress we normalize, and from the false self we've been taught to perform. So if you're tired, overwhelmed, or always giving too much, maybe it's time to ask, what is your body trying to tell you? Thanks for tuning in to Mind Muse. If you found this episode eye-opening, hit subscribe and explore more deep dives like this one. And don't forget, your body is talking. Here, we help you learn how to listen. Subscribe now to Mind Muse on YouTube, where the science of the mind meets the wisdom of the soul. Until next time, stay curious, stay well.